Hmm. The next set of questions are about quality of life and whether having breast cancer has affected your relationships. Has having breast cancer affected your quality of life and the quality of life of your family?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's totally different. So it's getting back. It's nowhere near what it was before breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I've changed my career to a less stressful, local-based workplace. I'm not as active as I used to be because every time I get tired, I sort of have to fight a fatigue, and then I get a lot of chronic pain. I've had that many surgeries in the last 5 years. It's silly.
Yes, yeah, and
so
more to
every
come.
Time you have, and every time you have surgery, it's like 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Does breast cancer affect your mental and emotional health? And do you do anything to look after your mental and emotional health?
Yes, it does affect your emotional and mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I work out. I go to the gym. I do personal training once a week. I walk. If I don't go to the gym, I walk. And I try and do that, and it actually helps with my fatigue as well as my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a massive change in my life. Done that. I've changed my career. I was working in law. Now I'm in an office looking after electricians, which is super less stressful than where I was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've done.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the things that you need to do on a regular basis to control the effects of your condition so that you can do all of the activities you need to do every day?
Okay, so my lymphatic drainage massage, I have to do that on a regular basis because if I don't, I struggle with the use of my arm. I stopped it for about 2 to 3 months because it's obviously costly having it done every week to 2 weeks, and so I stopped, and I thought, it's not so bad, and I stopped, and it got to the point where I was really struggling to even get things off the top shelf in the kitchen cupboards, and so I had to go back and recommence that. Going to the gym, everything I just really said to you.
Okay. And do you think having breast cancer has affected personal relationships with family and friends?
Yeah, I suppose to a certain extent. You try not to let it affect you, but it's going to. I do.
Yeah, okay. Do you feel that it's strengthened some relationships and maybe others haven't, or how has it affected?
Yeah, both actually. Some have become stronger and some have completely disappeared.
Okay. And do you feel as though having breast cancer is a burden on your family in relation to extra care or assistance that you might need from them?
Oh, God. Yeah. You don't really want to admit this, but probably.
Yeah, okay. And we have spoken a little bit about treatment, and now we'll talk about support and care. Care might be in the form of charities, patient groups, or healthcare workers. Have you received any support from health and community services to help manage the impact of your condition? What kind of support and where from?
Yeah, I did. A group of people organised for a cleaner to come in every fortnight and help clean the house for me. Obviously the 2 younger kids that I've got, they were I managed to get funding to put them into daycare, especially while I was in treatment, so I could go and get my treatment and they would be cared for. Financial assistance to pay my rates, and I got fuel cards from charity, from a charity.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, just the general support from my breast care nurse and the health professionals that
Mm-hmm.
you sort of get anyway.
Okay.
But it was very, I've spoken to other girls in my support group, and they, unless I'd have told them about it, they wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have been any the wiser that this stuff actually exists and is out there for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very. I don't know what it is. It's not very commonly put out there, especially for mums of young kids. It's really hard to sort of get that, obtain that help. I was just lucky that I had a really knowledgeable breast care nurse, I think.
Mm-hmm. And in relation to your condition, beyond being able to access treatments, what would you most like to see from new treatments? This might be about the way they are administered or the side effects they have or cost or things like that.
Oh, probably more support for the side effects.
Yeah.
I just said it. I totally underestimated it and was too positive in the beginning, I think, and not realistic enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got stuck into it and had all the side effects, it was all sort of, scrambling around trying to get the support that I needed.
Yes. Okay. And so your hopes really for future treatment so that side effects are dealt with better, And
yeah, definitely. And people are more prepared. No one really prepared me for the side effects. I was given not until I sort of asked, I had to ask or speak and call my breast care nurse and said, oh, by the way, this is happening. And then she'd sort of tell me about it, which was great. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, I was just sort of given, from the oncology team, they gave me all the handouts for all the different drugs and, the information about side effects and whatever. But there's that many side effects. Does anyone read those straight away? I don't know. Mm-hmm. I didn't until I knew that there was something not right. And then I was like, I better look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit more information right at the beginning. It wasn't. It was there, but I had to ask for it.
Yeah. Okay. And in relation to your condition, what would you most like to see from information? Were there any topics that weren't covered that you'd like to see available, or perhaps the format or how information is presented? You talked about side effects just now and more information about what side effects you may experience at the beginning. Is there other things that you thought were lacking in terms of information?
Oh, well, maybe with choices with treatment, I really wasn't offered any different options, and there was no sort of discussion given when they put me on a treatment plan. It was just sort of, this is what we're doing, and the only other option is not to do it, and then that's your choice. So there wasn't really that much, and I've sort of learnt since then that there are other options and there are other paths that I could have gone down, potentially. So maybe that, I think that's pretty big.
Yeah. And in relation to your condition, is there anything you would like changed in relation to the way health professionals communicate with patients?
Well, just communicate with patients, probably. Some of them don't like doing that.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, no, not really. I was pretty lucky. I had really approachable health professionals the majority of the time. So even though I do say in the beginning the information wasn't laid out on the table, so to speak, they were always very approachable when I wanted questions answered. I just worry that, if someone's not that type of person, which is not me, that doesn't like asking questions about what's going on, then they're not going to know, they're not going to get that information that they may need. Yeah.
And in relation to your condition, are there any specific services that you'd like to see developed to support and care for people who have